You're listening to Last Word Radio, where you get the last word.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Running Wild Podcast. I'm your co-host, Rich, alongside, as always, my co-host, Runz.
Yes, sir.
I just want to remind you guys that we're brought to you by in partnership with Last Word on Sports Radio. You can go to their website, lastwordonsports.com. They have a wrestling section I actually write for as well. You can also find us on W2M Network. That's Wrestling to the Max. You can follow them on Facebook. You can find us on, iTunes, also on Spreaker and on Stitcher under the name Running Wild Podcast. So basically anywhere you guys get your podcast from, you guys can go check us out. The other thing is also, guys, we do not charge for this episode ever. So just do us a favor and show your support by going over to our iTunes page and rating and subscribing and leaving us a comment or two. Also, you can share your thoughts with us over at runningwildpodcast@gmail.com, and you can follow us on Twitter, runningwildlwos. Is that everything?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think also you should buy the ShamWow. It's a really great product.
See, I'm watching I'm watching SmackDown right now, and Kofi and Big E were walking down the hallway, and they see this skinny white guy, and Kofi starts like twerking, right, or shaking his ass in front of the skinny white guy, and then the white guy proceeds to do it, which was hilarious, and then like they make fun of him, he stops, and Xavier Woods comes out of nowhere with like the small backboard, and then Kofi just dunks the ball right on top of the white guy, which was pretty hysterical.
And he's just some random
Yep, just backstage guy in the shirt and tie.
What do you think about their face turn?
Okay, I hated them on Raw. Like, I was rooting for the League of Nations. I was like, wow, this is terrible.
What did he say?
This is super corny.
Shame is in your name. Shame us. Something like that.
Yeah, like everything they said, I was like, oh, this is the watered down version of their heel act already. Like, immediately, this was not funny to me.
It loses its edge. It's...
Yeah, the "you are trash" stuff, it just wasn't funny. And New Day hasn't been not funny since they formed, so it's kind of strange that the first week they're face tag team, basically, they seem to suck.
There's got to be... it's like 6th grade humor.
Yeah, see, some people will say, well, that's what New Day always is. But it was more like sarcastic humor, and now it was just corny humor.
Yeah, the booty stuff.
There was, there was more sarcasm or I can't think of the word right now. I don't know. Like New Day is getting one over on you kind of humor,
They're like pranksters. They were...
they're looking down their nose while they're doing this. Like, we can say all this dumb stuff. We're still better than you.
And the dancing is more effective when you're... it's supposed to be obnoxious.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know... I'm just trying to think about rooting for somebody who actually dances that poorly. It's or just randomly decides that they need to break out and dance in the middle of a ring awkwardly and gyrate. People clapped for it because it was obnoxious and funny, but now it's just... I don't know.
Their whole gimmick is them being obnoxious. So I don't know how they're still obnoxious, but good guys. We'll see.
I guess I'm surprised that there's still this. What I guess this brings forward to me to the forefront is that they're still going to be really pushing the League of Nations, which I thought the League of Nations was dead. To be honest, I felt like after Sheamus basically lost the title, I thought they were going to lose steam and it was just going to fall by the wayside. The reports of Barrett leaving, I didn't really think that they were going to keep going forward with them as a serious group.
Well, I mean, I don't really think they had a choice because they spent time in putting these guys together and coming up with this whole thing. So, I think it would have been premature to, like pull the plug on it just because whatever was going on. But I have enjoyed them more recently because they've just been like, yeah, in your face. Like, we're going to beat people up and win matches and you can't do anything about it. And I kind of enjoy that because it's good when these big brute heels are getting wins because they should be getting wins because look at them. Three of them are, or whatever, right? Two of them are world champions and the other two are US and IC and everything else. So it's a good group. It makes sense that they're good. And okay, now my question is the match at Mania for the tag titles? It would seem to be, right?
I believe it is. I mean,
why wouldn't it be? But
well, I mean, they could do something.
It makes so much sense, like for it to be, because then you can just have any combination of the League of Nations with the belts if they were to win.
Let me look. Right, so you have obviously the main events. It does say tag team champions. Well, it's just actually the site I'm looking on says tag team champions New Day versus the League of Nations, but doesn't say that it's a title match.
See, like I don't think they mentioned it like the first week, but then they haven't mentioned the belts since. And some websites when I was looking, they all said tag team championships, but I don't really believe that. So I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. But
I mean, if you want everyone involved, right? Then you don't make it for the title. Then you have just a Mania match where it's like 3-on-3, and then
no, it's 4-on-3 the match.
It's definitely definitely going to be all four of them.
It's a New Day versus the League of Nations.
It does say for the tag team championship, so that doesn't.
But all three members of New Day have defended the belts. The Freebird stuff and all of that.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't all four members of the League of Nations have the same ability? And it makes so much sense because then one week you can just have Sheamus and Rusev, and then on SmackDown you can have Barrett and Del Rio.
But see, my thing is, I can buy it with 3. For some reason, it bothers me when it's 4. Like now, I think that's
it doesn't bother me because it's the same group. And especially, see, this is why it doesn't bother me because they're all going to be in the match that wins the tag team titles. So they all 4 will be the tag team champions if they win that match because they won. They were actually involved instead of just being a 2-on-2.
It's just so weird that I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think at any point the New Day defended as 3-on-2.
No.
So it's weird that now as faces,
a numbers game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be an explanation for them losing the titles.
Yeah, now they're actually outnumbered. And League of Nations can pull the same stunts that they were pulling. I would like to see League of Nations with the belts, actually. New Day has had a good run. I don't mind them being faces. We'll see how it goes. But I wouldn't mind seeing League of Nations, get a change of scenery, get some new stuff going on, let New Day chase it.
I just keep thinking back to my brother and how, he liked New Day even if they were playing kind of a heelish role, and I wonder if you really do they need to be that babyface against the League of Nations? They're a different type of heel. I don't know if you need to push them that I don't know if you need to have that, like, straight good guy, bad guy dichotomy with this group when it's clear that, like, the New Day, they're just kind of like douchey, annoying guys, whereas the League of Nations are legit like jerks and powerful bullies. So
Well, yes, you didn't need to, but that's what they did. Like by having League of Nations just beat the crap out of them all the time, it kind of, people are going to be sympathetic with New Day.
I think they would have been sympathetic no matter what, but that's all right. I mean, obviously, we don't write the script.
But speaking of New Day and the Freebirds, did you see that they're inducting them into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I feel anything yet. I like it better when, for some reason, who inducts the person really impacts my enjoyment of the event, or and then who was it that didn't Maria Menounos induct somebody weird?
Yeah, like Bob Backlund or something like that.
So, I hate when things like that occur. Obviously, at least there's the connection that the New Day are, obviously kind of throwing back to the whole Freebird rule and everything with the tag titles, and they've kind of done a lot of that. But I feel like it could have been somebody else, that the Freebirds took on.
I like when there is a personal connection behind the person inducting them. Like when William Shatner inducted Jerry Lawler, that was awesome because
that was cool.
But because there's a connection there.
But there actually is.
Maria fell flat because Maria wasn't a good, charismatic person. So she's not gonna. In wrestling, you want to hear those stories and everything like that. Maria was a different aspect of that. She had just had a straight personal connection, But I don't mind that because New Day is entertaining as hell. They obviously have worked with Michael Hayes for years. And, I'm sure they're going to pay good respect and tribute to the Freebirds. So I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And I'm looking forward to it.
Are you planning on watching are you going to watch it live? The Hall of Fame induction ceremony?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably have it on my laptop while I do something else.
Do you think you can watch wrestling? So say you stay home next Friday for NXT Dallas, Takeover Dallas. Mm-hmm. Could you theoretically just watch wrestling from Friday night to Monday? Well, technically Monday.
Yes.
Well, I'm saying,
what kind of question is that?
Interrupted by no other form of entertainment. Like, at no point can you put on an NCAA game or anything.
I mean,
just
I
literally
have 2
NXT
devices. I have 4 devices that I can watch things on. So, I can clearly put something on the laptop or the TV and play a video game or watch a game.
I need the vote of dedication here. I'm talking you don't watch any of the network shows for the week. So then after NXT TakeOver, you go to sleep so you can get your rest. Wake up early Saturday morning.
I very easily could, but the NCAA tournament is quite important. So, I mean, I want to watch, those games.
Somebody asked me.
I can watch replays of wrestling anytime. I can't really watch live games anytime.
There was a question at trivia whether all the number 1 seeds are still left in the tournament. Somebody looked at me and was like, "What?" I was like, "How many teams are left?" He's like, "You don't know how many teams are left?" And I was like, "I don't know what's going on. I have no idea." I'm like, I know that Syracuse might be in it somewhere because I saw that in New York 1. That's all I know.
It's so crazy that, say when we go to Wrestlemania or the NCAA tournament going on, stuff like that, it boggles my mind that there are people just existing, literally 5 minutes away from where this tournament is going on in the Barclays Center, and you are just oblivious that it doesn't exist to you. It's so crazy to me.
I went to does this make sense? I went to the Atlantic.
Yes.
I did that a couple times in a row.
Temple, right? And Temple took the train to the Barclays Center to play in the NCAA tournaments.
What color? I mean, if they were wearing an appealing color, I literally, I think, looked at the logo, and that's how, like, because the kids didn't know either. Most of them, like, almost all of them didn't know. So we were just sitting there, like, they're like, who are you rooting for? And I'm like, I guess I
you
like
were a
that
girl.
logo.
Oh, that's the purple thing.
I really, that was my only basis because I have no clue anything.
Ugh, it's so crazy.
I mean,
Such a like compelling. See, you don't watch basketball, and I'm sure our listeners are thrilled. But the compelling drama that
hoops and heels.
the NCAA tournament creates is just, it's phenomenal TV. A team was down by 12 points. By 12 points. You know how big this is. They were down by 12 points with 45 seconds left. And they tied the game and then won it in double overtime.
Was that Villa Iona? Did that happen last night? I thought I heard something on the radio.
No, that was Texas A&M and Northern Iowa.
Oh.
But it's just the craziness of things that go on during this 2 weeks is just unlike anything else.
I mean,
it is a perfect holdover to get me through 2 weekends until WrestleMania.
I've definitely been like at WrestleMania. I've been like out celebrating, and people suddenly people walked in with like different jerseys for college teams. Like I remember, I didn't know. I was like, why are so many people wearing jerseys right now? This is WrestleMania
that you said
weekend.
that you went out after WrestleMania to celebrate.
Well,
you just had a successful show. Job well done.
No. Like
celebrate and
what I mean
have one kick back and relax.
The times that I've gone away, you go out during the day or whatever, and then like you see all these people like coming to a bar or like wearing a basketball jersey.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is WrestleMania weekend, man. Like, why is this getting in the way?
And they're oblivious. Like, what the hell are all these people doing here in black T-shirts?
That's the one thing that I feel like we went to WrestleMania 29, but we didn't really do a lot of the destination stuff. I mean, the full weekend immersion.
Well, I mean, yes, much to my dismay, but we did go to the Hall of Fame, which was pretty awful.
Oof. Well, I want to do one of those weekends where, like, remember we went to.
No. Don't even say this, because every time that we go to WrestleMania, I want to do these things, and you say no. So don't even say that you want to go to all the access stuff. Don't even say it.
Well, no, I don't even mean the access stuff. I mean $5, like all these weird other things, not WWE things.
Nope.
Sometimes it's not my lack of desire to go to multiple events.
Well, now is different than it was when we went to 26.
Phoenix.
Yes. That was the time to go on Thursday and just do everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of it was work related. I don't know. I'm in a different mindset right now. I'd love to just literally go to wrestling shows from Friday night till dude, WrestleMania
on Cheap Heat when Rosenberg was talking about going to the house show on Friday, Raw on Monday, NXT Friday, WrestleMania Sunday. I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy.
It's living the dream.
I thought SummerSlam was insane going back to back. I couldn't even imagine going. I couldn't do it. I couldn't go to 5 shows or 4 shows. And
would you go to if you found out that there was a 10 a.m. show on the Saturday of WrestleMania? Would you just go to daytime shows to go see random?
I would go. I would try to go to ROH during the day, and then whatever is at night, and I would try to do that because that's kind of the whole point. That's so cool that you can go see PWG at 4:00, and then you can go see ROH at 8:00, and then you can go see something else tomorrow at 1:00, and you can go to Access, and you can do all that stuff, and then go see another Ring of Honor show at 8:00, and then the Hall of Fame. That stuff is cool.
Next Friday is actually going to be crazy because you've got NXT Takeover Dallas, You've got Ring of Honor doing their Supercard of Honor show. You have FSW, going on at the American Legion next week. The Lions Den match, which is going to be very exciting. I'm not sure. I have some exciting news to possibly share, but I don't know if we can unveil it yet. Maybe at the end of the episode. I want to keep you guys listening. Tied into next Friday's events. Let's just say I've made purchased a shirt on Amazon, so that I might be more ready for next week's event.
Jesus.
I don't know. Should I just come forward? It seems that FSW is searching for some referees. So throwing my proverbial hat in the proverbial ring. Let's see. See if the door opens. Be very excited. I've literally been practicing just all night, just going 1, 2. I've been watching. I actually watched.
Oh my god!
Okay. I have to be honest here.
Did you YouTube referee?
Oh yeah! I watched all of WrestleMania 29, just focusing on the referees. I was just like, okay, what is this guy? What is he doing? How does he? I really like goodness. Charles Robinson is probably my modern day my favorite. Mike Chioda is there.
Bleach blonde your hair.
Oh man, Little Nate was one of my favorite angles ever. When he just.
I hope you they're like, okay, yeah, you can debut. Oh, hey, we have this sick storyline for you. We're gonna have you debut, and you're gonna get into this angle, and these guys are gonna shave off your mutton chops.
No.
Just like, oh, all right, never mind. Forget it, guys. I quit.
We've spoken about this before, and really, I think it came up when we were talking about the Straight Edge Society and whether you would be saved by them. And I said that, I wouldn't do it if I was if it was a one and done. It would be. I don't know.
No, you're an official referee on the roster. You just got to shave off your mutton chops for the first 2 months.
I don't know, man. That's a real
tough call.
That's I imagine there were players who refused to sign with the Yankees with the idea that they'd have to trim their hair, and
what if you become a referee for FSW, right? And no other wrestling company will hire you aside from TNA.
All right.
Do you sign the contract? You're on TV. You're getting paid.
All right. Let me just lay it out this way.
Florida.
First of all, I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that I'll actually be doing anything next Friday. But in the unlikely event that does happen, I feel like it's an emergency one and done situation, and then I never get called back. Secondly, as I've actually looked to analyze whether or not I would ever want to, I don't like traveling. Traveling is the worst. I don't mind being somewhere new, but I hate the
you have to go into the hotel for TNA.
No,
they're in Orlando all the time.
I have to travel to Orlando, then I got to unpack the suitcase, put everything in the drawer because I need to have everything in the drawer, and then I got to put it out of the drawer.
To Orlando, just live in Orlando, and then you start working for NXT.
I can't. No, it's moving to Orlando.
Be a professional referee. I'm sure they would be paying your salary here decently enough.
I have a bad feeling that TNA pays their referees less than public school teachers make in New York City. That's not even. What are the benefits?
They seriously might.
And then I'd be so confused.
You could just do it on a weekend, oh yeah, I'm just refereeing for TNA this week, and then teaching. Doesn't really matter. It's just on weekends.
It's when I remember somebody asked me when I wanted to play hockey, would you play for the Rangers? And I was like, oh. If only the Rangers offered you a contract, would you play? I'm like, ugh. It's the NHL, but I hate them.
Correct answer, yes. Yes, immediately.
So you
yes, I'm making money. It doesn't matter.
You would say yes to TNA.
Clearly.
At least it improved the product immeasurably, but
arguable.
I'm sad. I don't know the referee names in WWE other than like Mike Chioda.
Nah. Skinny black guy.
Yeah, who is that guy? Then there's like slightly
The
Hispanic guy or
guy who,
Italian guy.
yeah, guy who looks like Enzo.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know their names. That's unfortunate, but these are the days we live in. Do not look up referee names, please.
What? What would make you think that I'm?
Because the look on your face, the excitement of like the intrigue.
All right, so I'm obviously there. We have Chad Patton, which I think you know.
Okay, yes.
Charles Robinson,
Yes.
Little H. Then John Cone, who I think is the guy that you say looks like Enzo.
Yes.
Mike Chioda, which we all know. Oh wait, no. So John Cone is like the older Enzo. The young Enzo is Rod Zapata.
Yes. Okay.
And then Ryan Tran is the
oh, yes, Asian guy.
yeah, he's born in Malaysia. And black referee is not listed here on WWE's website, so I'm not sure if
maybe NXT.
They're probably racist. Well, it didn't seem like there was I don't know.
Yeah,
or he just got released. I'm guessing he got released.
Back to actual events. Sorry for the sidetracking, but so as for Raw, I thoroughly enjoyed the Intercontinental title angle. I mean, it was good stuff. I really enjoyed Kevin Owens introducing Sin Cara, Stardust, and Zack Ryder, and then the table's getting turned on him. I thought that was entertaining stuff. His interactions with Stephanie were good, and I'm very excited for that 7-man ladder match.
Well, all right. I don't know if it's just that I dislike things like odd numbers, but it bothers me that it's 7. I don't know.
Yeah, but they've done that before. Like last year, it was what 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I don't know. I like even numbers better because I just feel like it's in terms of like it being competitive. I just find it odd when anything has odd. Like when a competition is odd numbers. Like a triple threat match is one thing.
Well, everyone's gonna beat up Kevin Owens and then fight each other. So,
I feel like when you make it a triple threat match, it automatically means that that Owens walks out the champion. I mean, the 7-man match. I feel like because of all this craziness, kind of like when wasn't Kurt Angle like placed in a Hell in a Cell for the title?
The 6-man.
Yeah, and he he escaped with the belt basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like he got a roll up victory in the middle of all of it because.
I mean, this one you have to climb the ladder, but
wouldn't the smart money be like having Owens keep it and then continue to feud with Zayn after this? Have that be have that be a SummerSlam match?
I don't see. There's no one in this match that is a legitimate threat to win the IC title other than Sami Zayn. So either way, I think we're gonna get that continuation. But I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to have Kevin Owens lose. He had an interview with Michael Cole. And he said, which I don't know if this is true. He said he didn't know if this was true. That the IC title hasn't been successfully defended in 15 years at WrestleMania. So,
what? How many years?
He said 15.
Wow.
It hasn't been successfully defended. He said, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what somebody told me, so I'm going to take it as fact. And so, I don't know. I meant to check it out, but I completely forgot about it. But by him saying that, I feel like he's going to retain that, and he's going to be able to talk shit about it and use it in his promos and his angles and all of that. So I think he'll retain, which I'm excited about. But I'm also excited to see Zack Ryder and Stardust and even Sin Cara. I think that's well-deserved for those guys. Especially Zack Ryder, because this is legitimately just like, you've been doing everything we've asked you to do, no matter what it is for the past 5 years. Like, here you go. Just have a WrestleMania match.
And he finally gets to use his stickers.
Ugh.
Remember the?
Yes, I own one of those.
You do?
Yep.
How did you get that?
Because it was whatever you needed to do. Like it was take a picture of something. And so I took a picture of it and I got the fucking sticker. Straight from Zack Ryder.
Damn it. Why didn't I pay attention to this? It very much upsets me. I was also, by the way, looking up results for tonight's event. I'm very frustrated that I couldn't find them anywhere in Google. I'm like, come on, guys. This is a big event. It's Madison Square Garden. And I was like, oh, it's Friday.
Thursday.
It's Saturday morning.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the Owen stuff. When he's not directly just... I mean, when he introduced Sin Cara...
Yeah.
And he was like, like a loser under, he used to be under a mat or whatever. Who was it?
That was fantastic.
Because it really made you think it was going to be Sami Zayn.
He became famous from wrestling under a mask. Sin Cara. It was good stuff. He's the biggest star in WWE, Stardust. And then like when he introduced Stardust for Miz and Sin Cara for Sammy, I was like, oh well, clearly Zack Ryder is coming out for Dolph Ziggler. Like this, just that just makes so much sense.
I hope it doesn't mess up stuff with Mojo Rawley and their tag team. I mean, I'm glad Zack's getting his WrestleMania moment. I just hope it's.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for him. Like he cut an ill promo backstage, just about like I'm gonna hear my music play and and Kevin Owens in the interview with Michael Cole, he said something like he's like, oh yeah, did you see Zack Ryder? He was so happy he gets to hear his music playing. It's terrible music, by the way. Oh man, that guy is just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it has all the makings to me of, in some ways, the heel finally getting his comeuppance and losing, but I feel like he'll actually find a way to overcome everything.
Yeah, I think he'll snake away from it with the win. And then, speaking of the heel getting his comeuppance, Vince McMahon calling The Undertaker his bitch cannot bode well for him.
Well, I mean, the announcement that now if Taker loses, he can't wrestle at WrestleMania again?
Yeah, until Shane McMahon is in charge, and then he just reinstates them. Like,
Oh my! Why didn't I? I always forget that.
You know what? We're gonna have one more match, and he's gonna fight you, Dad, like something like that.
As much as I know about wrestling, the weird thing that I do is I will completely not think that they can just erase an angle and do whatever they want.
You forget about the wrestling ways around it.
Like Triple H, the rematch of the century against Undertaker at WrestleMania. It's like, are we all forgetting that they fought 8 years before that? It's like they completely erased that match.
Yep.
So I'm just
yeah, I mean, more wrinkles added to that plot.
God damn it. Actually, I'm kind of angry at you for mentioning that, because it really, when I heard the announcement, it was to me like, oh man, well now Taker
you would have figured
lose.
It out in the next 2 weeks. I mean, if you wouldn't have, that would have been pretty sad.
Remember,
they're going to do something on Raw, there's going to be stuff going on that's going to address it.
I like to dismiss logic during WrestleMania. The closer I get to WrestleMania, the less logical I am about things. I just like to embrace the insanity. Oh, did you hear in the big news about the Big Show being in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
I fast forwarded through that, but I got the gist of that.
Do you think he finally wins it this year?
Who won last year?
Or did he? Does Cesaro won it? No,
Cesaro won at 30. And then I think Big Show won last year.
Huh. So then you've got the Social Outcasts, you've got the Wyatts, right? Are in the...
Who cares? Braun Strowman should win this, and that's the end.
I'm still not sold on this guy.
It's a battle royal. That's what big men win. That's a perfect spot for him. He doesn't have to do anything. Just
Tyler
stand there and
Breeze.
toss people over. Speaking of Tyler Breeze, we got a picture of Tyler Breeze, Ty Dillinger, and Cody Rhodes
Who?
all dressed in suits.
Who?
I mean, you know who Cody Rhodes is.
I thought he retired.
Well, yeah, but apparently he's taking pictures, so maybe he's on his way back.
That's like. Did I tell you the time that the news? Like there was a news. They have these clickbait things, wrestling articles, and there was one that was like, what major WWE superstar announced that he'll never wrestle again?
Yeah.
So then I click on it, and it's like Stardust says that Cody Rhodes will never, and I was like,
Yep.
what?
Oh yeah, thanks.
I guess that stable, I think, would be effective. I'm not sure where they start. I know we were talking about the other day, and you seemed to say that you didn't feel that NXT was the place for them to start. But with Dillinger still being there, and with Prince Pretty not being used really that well on the main roster. Same for Stardust. I mean, I feel like a little reboot, giving them some steam and time to work together in NXT before they come up.
Okay, here's the one thing you forget. Ty Dillinger and Tyler Breeze have been in NXT for like 10 years. So, Ty Dillinger is never going to be anything on NXT. So having them form a heel faction there, yes, it gives them practice, but I don't think they need it. I think they have enough practice. I think they all have very similar personalities, and they can play off that dashing and perfect 10 gimmick. They have dashing, they have perfect 10, and they have Prince Pretty. So it is a perfect setup.
Are you a little upset that the picture wasn't a selfie?
From the selfie stick?
Should have been from the selfie stick. No?
Because I'm fine with Tyler Breeze getting away from that Zoolander male model and kind of more into the dashing male model.
How great would it be if they did a whole angle where he can't turn left?
Yeah, they just do they just do Zoolander. Just like Cody and him, just have the beef.
That would be very exciting to me. What is this, a school for ants?
How are the kids going to learn to read if they can't fit inside the building? That was fantastic. But yeah, I think that about covers it for Raw, right?
Well, what did you have? You also had Bubba Ray and R-Truth, which is kind of pointless.
Yeah, whatever.
Chris Jericho beat Fandango in his big revenge match from WrestleMania 29. And Roman Reigns told Stephanie to shh.
The Roman Reigns stuff wasn't bad, and the interaction with Triple H in the back was okay again.
The shushing annoys me, but whatever.
And I do also like the Dean Ambrose, getting the barbed wire bat, now getting the chainsaw from Terry Funk. I kind of like that.
The chainsaw always bothered me.
It was a little okay, come on. He's not going to saw this guy in half.
Yeah. But. I mean, I understand that it represents Funk, and, obviously he's getting kind of these, legends to give them representations of their own, hardcoreness.
Yeah, but you can't use that in the match.
Yeah. I mean, even...
the barbed wire bat, I thought the barbed wire bat meant something because it was going to be a standalone thing, and he was going to use that. But now it's oh, wait, is he going to even use that, or what's going to happen?
Wait, is Jake going to give him a snake next?
I wonder what happened. Who? Oh, they're in Brooklyn, right? So they're in New York.
Maybe the
so
Brooklyn.
Tommy Dreamer gives him something.
Or they
don't. Kendo stick.
They don't really bring the Brooklyn Brawler out anymore. So
I mean, he's not hardcore either.
Well, he is from. Oh wait, he could have Bad News Brown. We could bring him a New York City sewer rat.
Yeah, so I think that about does it for Raw. So I also watched Main Event to see the Divas angle. Did you read about that? See that?
Hold on. Emma is with Lana and
Summer.
Yeah, and is Team Bad involved too?
Yes. So there's 5 of them, right? And I was racking my brains because I thought it was already a 10 Diva tag, and I couldn't come up with the 5th Diva. And there is no 5th Diva on the roster for Total Divas. It's Brie, Alicia Fox, Paige, and Natty. There is no 5th Diva.
Brie. Did you say?
Brie,
Okay.
Natty,
Yeah.
Paige, and what's her name? Alicia Fox.
There's got to be somebody else. No?
Nope. Charlotte, Sasha, Becky are involved in that. Nikki is hurt. That's it.
So did they...
Bailey?
Yeah. Right? I mean, you just grab... Or Asuka.
No, well, I think it would be Bailey. You give her that WrestleMania match, but I don't know. It could just be, someone lame.
Who else? Who else is even on the roster? I feel like at this point they're all.
I literally looked through the divas. Like I looked through the entire roster because I was like, okay, who's the fifth good girl? And there was nobody.
Is Carmella gonna be on Total Divas now? Next season or something?
I don't know.
Maybe it's Carmella. I don't know. Maybe probably not. You're right. It'd probably be Bailey over Carmella anyway.
Well, clearly. But yeah, I mean, so I like that. I like Emma getting back on the roster. Makes sense. I like that heel group.
It's nice. Emma and both Zach. They're gonna have their WrestleMania moment.
So I mean, the best thing that I watched this week probably was Lucha Underground. It was the Aztec Warfare, so it's like their Royal Rumble, but you have to get pinned or submitted. And so, if you remember from last week, Phoenix is number 1, Mil Muertes is number 20. Phoenix is the champion, the belt's on the line, all that. So Phoenix is number 1, and number 2 is Rey Mysterio.
What?
Yep. So that was pretty sick. That was pretty cool. They wrestled like whatever. Then it really didn't stop. Like every person that came out was someone ill. It came. All right. So it was like Dragon Azteca, who was in Mexico, El Hijo del Rey Mysterio. So,
really?
Yeah. So now he's Dragon Azteca and Lucha Underground, and they're together. And so it was like them two, Phoenix, Prince Puma, and someone else. And like Mil Muertes came out, and they all just took out Mil Muertes and killed him and eliminated him. And then it came down to number 21, or number 20. So that was it, Mil Muertes. And then Dario Cueto, who the guy who ran the temple.
The guy with the black hair, right?
Yeah, the guy who looks like you. And he came out and he said, I'm back, and this is my temple, and there's a 21st entrant, and it's my brother. And his brother is wears the Wyatt kind of onesie. He's just like this big Taz kind of stocky guy with this ill mask on. And he comes out and literally just kills everybody and wins the belt.
Who is he?
That was pretty sick. He's Jeff Cobb, who's a Olympic wrestler. So he looked pretty ill. He was hitting some sick looking moves, nice impact. Then he hit a standing moonsault at one point. So
really,
it was pretty effective. He literally just killed everyone. And then I think it came down to him and Mysterio, and he beat Mysterio.
How does Mysterio look? I know he had a match with Kurt Angle recently or something.
Yeah, he looked good though. Typical old Rey Mysterio stuff. It was good to see.
He really irritates me.
Oh yeah, but it was still. It's still cool to see him.
Is he still I feel like the last time I saw him, he did 4 moves, and then he just did the 619, the match was over. Is he?
He does the 619. No, I mean, he definitely expanded a little bit.
Because I feel like his injuries limited him last time I was really watching him. So he was just kind of very formulaic.
Definitely moving a little bit quicker, and it was entertaining. Maybe if I watch him for a month straight, I'll be like, okay. But it was cool to see him, again, because it's been a while.
Can you believe he was unmasked 17 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah, we just forget about that.
I just love that nobody has to see it.
Yeah.
And then, well, the TNA news. I mean, I believe last episode we didn't cover this because I don't think it had happened yet. The news that both Eric Young and Bobby Roode have not Bobby Roode, Robert Roode, right?
No, Bobby Roode.
Bobby's Roode, yeah. They have decided to leave the company as of last Sunday night or something.
Yeah, I think whatever this week, whenever they finished up the tapings. Yep. So I think April 19th is like the last show. Yeah, so I mean, obviously they took the titles off of both of them, at the last taping, but supposedly it was separate, instances that led to both of them leaving, but still suspicious that they end up leaving at the same time. Like they're good friends and they came in the company on the same day, they leave on the same day, so a little bit fishy to me. Just makes sense to me that they go to NXT. I mean, Triple H has always talked about Bobby Roode being one of the guys he likes. And so, they had James Storm there. He didn't work out. So, maybe they go after Roode. They get Roode. And Eric Young, I mean, is a talented dude.
I just feel like at this point, how many guys, like those two guys, they go to NXT. Like, what are their expectations there? And I feel like now it's I guess we're gonna have to wait to see where the Bullet Club shows up after Mania and everything. But you're gonna have a really packed roster down there. I feel like one of the things Roode was saying was that he had accomplished everything there and was ready to move on. Neither of those guys are young. They're not very young. They're late 30s.
But NXT is a step up from TNA. And then it's one step closer to the main roster.
I guess my hope is that one of them signs with Ring of Honor.
But they're not Ring of Honor guys. Like, they're not fast-paced and young, up-and-coming guys, It's WWE or bust. That's it. They're not traveling to Japan. They're not going to Ring of Honor. It's NXT. It has to be. But, this is... All right. I realized this when I was watching NXT this week. The last couple of weeks, I've just been yeah, maybe I'll watch NXT. Yeah, I'll fast forward through some of it. They're in a very dangerous territory for me because the guys that they are featuring, I have been watching on TV for the past 10 years. Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, those kind of guys I've seen. Now, if they sign Bobby Roode, if they sign Eric Young, it's just like TNA. And if Finn Balor goes to the roster, if Bayley goes to the roster, then who else is there? Samoa Joe is your main guy. You have Austin Aries. You have Baron Corbin. You don't have guys. I mean, you have guys that I like, but you don't have guys that I feel I need to go out of my way to watch on TV every week.
You have Nakamura.
How long is Nakamura going to be
there? It just... Wow. It'll be funny if NXT ends up just being TNA and it does better. It would make me laugh so hard if Triple H just got all those TNA guys just to make just to make his third show better than TNA's first show with the same guys.
I mean, it would be. I don't know. Like I said, they're all guys that I like, but I don't. It's strange. It's a weird thing that they're getting these guys from the other companies now to feature on their third show, Or
after Mania, Shane actually does win, and we get a brand
Shane
split.
Is winning.
I can't. I feel bad for our listeners because I feel like next week's show, when we do the WrestleMania predictions, are going to be just me marking out because I forget life when WrestleMania comes around and how to think correctly.
Can just quickly, I want to run down the card. Like, okay, so Triple H reigns for the WWE title. Good stuff. Brock Ambrose in the street fight. Should be phenomenal. Taker Shane Hell in a Cell for control of Raw. Should be amazing. New Day versus League of Nations. Should be fantastic. Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky for the Divas title. Should be awesome. The 7-man IC title ladder match should be ridiculous. Y2J and AJ Styles should be amazing. Ryback Callisto, should be okay. Entertaining. But, that'll be the popcorn break.
Okay.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Good stuff. Usos Dudley Boys. Okay, that's a good feud. And then you have the Total Diva stuff. That's a good card, man.
But I mean, all right. Are you gonna watch the entire? So you're presumably you're gonna.
What kind of question is that?
You're coming over, right?
Clearly.
Are we also watching the post show? Because that's
Is there a post show? I don't think there is a post show.
No, they're doing an hour post show at the
nice.
end of Mania.
Well, I mean, I have work the next day, so we can watch it on the way home. But yes, I will be watching all 7 hours.
At one
It's
point,
WrestleMania.
I know, but it's so. I can't believe it's 7 hours.
I love that it comes on at 4 o'clock or like 5 o'clock. I really do, because at 4 o'clock I'm ready. Like, I don't care that nothing is going on. I'm watching WrestleMania. It is on my TV. They're in the arena. There's people there. There's actual roster members and WWE employees talking about the show. There are 2 matches. Once that pre-show starts, it's WrestleMania. That 2 hours is going to fly by because I'm just watching WrestleMania already.
I'm almost like frozen by the prospect of WrestleMania weekend. Like, there's so much wrestling happening.
That NXT show Friday, I mean, is going to be nuts.
And if I go to the FSW show Friday night, that means I'm not going to really watch NXT till Saturday morning. So you're saying that I'm going to go to an independent show Friday night. I'm going to wake up and watch NXT Takeover Dallas the next morning. Then a couple hours in between. And then next thing you know, I'll be watching the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And then I'm going to wake up Sunday morning, probably watch my last Mania. I only have a couple left. And
then by noon, that's it. It's WrestleMania.
It is such a wealth of, and if you really put off all the network stuff, because they're going to have Daniel Bryan's last day that they're going to air.
Let's talk about that, because they have removed Daniel Bryan from everything. He's not appearing at WrestleMania Access. They stopped the MSG Daniel Bryan night. They pulled him from everything. They said he requested time off, but there's no way that he just requested time off. Something happened.
Especially if Brie is she's involved.
Yeah, like, she's going to be at WrestleMania, so he's not going to be at WrestleMania, or he just doesn't want to do the stuff. What happened to cause all of his appearances to be pulled? Did he really just say, like, yo, you guys are crazy, I'm not traveling like this for you, I don't work here anymore? Like, stop. But why would they pull, like, he's going to be at WrestleMania, why would they pull that appearance? Why would they pull the MSG night? Like, those 2 things, okay. You pull him from the European tour and that kind of stuff. But those 2 appearances is kind of, like, personal.
So what do you think? Do you think he's trying to leave the company?
I don't know. But the last time that he spoke, he said that he got word that he legit couldn't wrestle. So unless he got a checkup and stuff cleared up and someone said he can wrestle and now he's freaking out and he wants to wrestle, I don't know.
I really hope he doesn't do it. I mean,
just for his health, like, don't do it, man. Like, all right, let's say he goes to Ring of Honor and has 1 match, right? he's not going to stop with one match. Like he's going to want. He's like, oh look, I feel fine after one match. All right, let's go again. And then that's when something happens.
Maybe it's something else. It just
maybe it is just that he wanted time off. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he had other stuff he wanted to take care of. Maybe he got another opportunity of something he wanted to do. I don't know. But it just seems really weird. You don't advertise like you're going to have a Daniel Bryan night at Madison Square Garden and then pull it 2 days before or the week before, whenever it happened, like that. That's really strange.
Yeah, I'm not. Especially
Like,
the MSG thing. Just because the MSG thing to me is the craziest because that's the that's the capital of wrestling, right? That
and the WrestleMania signing are the two things that you wouldn't have pulled just for time off.
Yeah,
like the MSG thing has been advertised, and WrestleMania you're going to be there anyway with your wife, so you can't just sign autographs for 2 hours. Like, you love the fans. That's something that he would love to do. So it's really, really weird.
I wonder if maybe they asked him to be involved in an angle, and he said no, and they got into a disagreement over things, so he chose not to go there.
But everything, like, I don't like. We'll see. Is he going to be on WrestleMania? Because before this, most likely he would have shown up just to say something or do something.
Because he can't be in their good graces to ditch them during this time period.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's, the MSG and WrestleMania are such big things that it's like a slap in the face for both of, whichever side, it's like, all right, then we're going to pull your biggest things at this crucial time. It's really, really strange.
All right. What else? Oh, well, I didn't talk about Ring of Honor, but this week's episode wasn't very exciting. I mean, last week you had the tag team turmoil. Did you get a chance to go back and see that?
No.
All right. Well, it was pretty good, and if you get a chance now, it'll probably be a little bit more difficult because I think they take down the episodes unless you're a ringside member. This week you had Ishii. This was the second night of their anniversary. So this is how they're spacing out Ishii having the title because he's back, in New Japan right now. Yeah. So you had Ishii was supposed to take on, what's his name? I can't remember the bald guy's name right now. BJ Whitmer. But Vita Scott came out and offered him a certified check to let Cedric Alexander get the title shot. And then Cedric lost. Then you had the Briscoes taking on Reno Scum, who I've never...
Yeah, just like a local team.
They were punk rock. The one guy had a mohawk and he kind of looked like Sheamus a little bit. And they had leather vests and everything. The Briscoes, they won. I mean, it made sense. And then what I thought was an odd match. I guess it makes sense thinking that it was part of that weekend. But you had the main event was Young Bucks versus Elgin and Tanahashi. And Elgin ended up picking up the win, pinning. I think he pinned Nick, and I was just a little perplexed because I don't understand what you get out of Elgin and Tanahashi beating them there. I mean, they're both good guys, but I don't know. What's the point of having the Bucks lose to them? They're going to go away. They're New Japan now. So now you just had one of your best tag teams lose to two guys who aren't going to be around and not even – I don't see how it helps the character at all. On a non-televised show, I feel like I would be okay with it almost, But on a televised show, it just seems odd to end your show with two guys who are not in your company – who aren't going to be challenging for the tag titles, just kind of reigning supreme after you just had the Bucks look really strong in the tag team turmoil tournament the week before. So it's
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, the wins and losses matter, but not really.
And
Not when
now,
you have the New Japan guys.
and I want to see what's going to happen with Lethal, and I want to see what they're moving on with Cole. And obviously it's this taping, the way that their taping schedule is and everything, and I complain about this every couple of weeks. I feel like I complain about it at the end of the taping cycle. Like when you hit the third or fourth show of the taping is when I get the most irritated. Now they're advertising that in 3 weeks on televised TV, Dalton Castle is going to be taking on Silas Young in the Fight Without Honor, and I was like 3 weeks. I guess you're right. Maybe Silas Young going to Germany never even affects it because it seems like they're spacing these out. So
he wrestled in Milwaukee last week.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Curiouser and curiouser. All right. Well, I guess I stand corrected. I thought it was going to be a big deal. I guess it was just a short thing, and because of their taping schedule, it works out fine.
Considering he won't wrestle until another month,
I almost wish for the taping things they would just lie about where they are. Like, instead of being like, yeah, we're still in Las Vegas, be like, yeah, we're in not Vegas. We're in Kansas City. Like, just change the thing at the bottom. I don't know. I hope that the next show kind of brings things together. The Supercard of Honor seems like it's going to be good. Let's just see how that works out with their tapings, and I wonder if a lot of...
It'll be an okay wrestling show, but nothing's going to happen.
But things happen on TNA, and they tape the same way.
No, you said Supercard of Honor is going to be a good card. I said it's going to be a good wrestling show, but it's not.
Oh, you think
nothing's going to happen?
It'll be like it'll be just like an anniversary.
What do you think, Leo Rush is going to win the title?
Man, Leo Rush, that would be, at least it would be mix up. It would be something different, other than a guy who doesn't wrestle for the company having the title now.
Yes, it will be a guy on the company, but I don't need to see him with the championship.
And what is the definition, maybe I'm misinterpreting it, of a television title? Isn't that
title that's just defended on TV?
But isn't it like supposed to be defended on like every TV? I feel like when I thought
that's the original idea behind it, I believe.
Like WCW had that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm clearly going to keep watching, but I've been soured since the anniversary show, and I hope that things start to pick up a little bit because I do enjoy the wrestling and I think it's top notch, but there's a reason why I don't watch UFC. The fighting's good, but I'm not into the story, and I need Ring of Honor to bring me back into the story. I need them to give me a reason aside
bad
from just...
comparison because UFC has some good stories, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's just wrestling and not enough fluff behind it.
Exactly.
Yes, the 20-minute promo at the beginning of the show every week is a little annoying, but if you do it once a month, that can be okay. You can talk, you can have some interaction segments.
All right. Well, if we've covered all the major companies, we do have an email. It's got 2 questions in it, although I don't think we can answer one of them. But I don't know. So this is from Adam in Brooklyn. Thank you, Adam. The first one: the longest rivalry in WWE history. I mean, is that like Randy Orton and John Cena?
Yeah, like Cowboy Bob. Like
I don't know how to...
No, it would have to be before that. Like Vince and Stone Cold. I don't know.
Like, I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know where to begin to answer the question because I'm just.
Yeah, like is this an Arnold Schwarzenegger scenario for you? Like, he's still the longest reigning champ because he never defended it.
Yeah,
But,
like, I mean, is it just
okay,
over the
what
course of
rivalry
two?
is still just ongoing forever?
I mean, I
Iron
feel
Sheik
like.
and Hulk Hogan? Like, I don't know.
And is it modern? Is it modern era? I mean, if it's modern era, I kind of lean towards Cena or Orton, but I don't. I feel like they had a very long feud.
I don't know. It's an impossible question.
All right, the next one I think is possible to answer. Longest WWE the longest match in WWE history. My gut goes with Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Iron Man.
Does this include like Royal Rumbles? Because if not,
It
then
can't.
I
No,
would
it's
assume that you are correct.
right because that one went to overtime, so you would think that was the only one.
And they never had a another hour match,
All right, let's see.
Oh, actually, they did, right? They had like Austin and or Triple H and Rock or something like that.
All right, so there's like I found a thing that has 10 longest matches in WWE history. 10th was Triple H versus Shawn Michaels in the Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood. What? All right, I'm just gonna try to keep clicking. I mean, they have like random ones where like Bruno Sammartino versus Nikolai Volkov for the WWE title, March 4th, 1974, for 53 minutes.
Yeah, like Bruno Sammartino versus like Dr. Bill Miller.
I'm going to keep looking. Okay, so we do have the Shawn. See, I thought that might be up there. The Michaels versus Cena Raw match, but that's 55 minutes.
Oh, see, like Bruno Sammartino versus Waldo Von Erich, 81 minutes. WWWF, that doesn't count.
That's the. Oh yeah, I see the Miller one. I mean, if it's see, that's why this is a difficult question.
This is why we need answers when people send us questions.
I promise
Send
I won't
us
cheat.
answers separately.
Gorilla Monsoon once wrestled a 70-minute match, which is just unheard of. Like, what is he doing for 70 minutes?
All right, so on Answers.com, it says the longest match in WWE history was the 2002 Rumble. The longest one-on-one special match was WrestleMania when Shawn Michaels faced Bret Hart in the Iron Man match.
Yes, I guess the question is, televised or not? Because if it's not televised, then honestly, I wouldn't.
Well, it would be that, yeah, or that HBK Cena one, right? And that, what you said was 55 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have to be.
And then let's see if I can find longest rivalry. History. All right. Oh, see, it's got like I can't. No, Googling it gives me no immediate answer other than like 10 greatest rivalries.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't have length of time. So I don't know. Could you be like lame and say like Roddy Piper and like Hogan because like they always had beef and like that's why this question is difficult to answer. So I'm gonna give us two. I give us 2 points. I think we got both of them. All right. Well, I think that's it for this week. Got anything else?
No, I do not believe so. I believe that is it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, next time you'll hear from us will be our big WrestleMania show next week. Actually, probably tape it as late as possible so that it comes out and we have the most relevant information for the matches. As long, hopefully nothing changes. Really, I don't think everything's kind of set up.
Yeah, maybe we'll try and tape it Saturday morning so we can watch NXT.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. I like that. Deal. Not that it matters to you guys because you guys usually just hear it, but it might come. So next week, look for the show to come out later in the day on Saturday. Obviously, so
I know everyone will be waiting anxiously for it.
Well, I'm sure we're I think we're the top-rated wrestling podcast that is being broadcast from this apartment in the Ditmas Park area of Brooklyn. So, we want to keep that up. We had hopefully we have some new listeners this week. And just as a reminder, before you guys move on to another podcast for your listening pleasure, please do us a favor and run over, just take a quick second, go to iTunes, or even on Stitcher, and leave us a comment, rate, subscribe, so that you don't even have to worry about getting this podcast every week. As a reminder to you guys, also that we are brought in partnership, broadcasted here with lastwordonsports.com. You can take a look at their website for tons of sports articles. If you go to the wrestling tab, you can take a look at some of my latest work over there. You can look forward to a special preview piece on the Kevin Owens title defense for Mania this week, as that is my charge. You can find us on W2M Wrestling to the Max Network. You can follow that group on Facebook and check out their other podcasts. They have tons of stuff on sports and NFL, and they also do some really cool spots, Wrestlemania Unwrapped, where they pick a Wrestlemania and they kind of go through the entire card. So it's kind of like a nice throwback. And with all, make sure that you guys can send us your emails over to runningwildpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at runningwildlws. If for some reason you want to follow me directly, you can follow me at LWOSRich on Twitter. And don't forget that you guys have been listening to the podcast that is just too sweet.